Hey everybody, I'm Mike Lang, anotherpintplease.com, and today I'm grilling not just a flank steak, but a rolled and stuffed flank steak with herbs, garlic, and cheese. It's what's on the grill. Flank steak is a very lean and fairly inexpensive cut of meat. So if you consider the brisket comes from up here in the cowlick around your chest, the flank comes from down here by your abs. Now with any lean cut, the key to unpacking its meaty flavorfulness is how it's grilled. Flank is perfect for a marinade or braising, but I like to slice it down, stuff it, and roll it. Let's do it. One of the first things we're gonna do is remove any excessive fat and any silver skin from the steak. The key now is to go ahead and open up the flank steak like a book. So what we're gonna do is keeping the knife even between both the top and the bottom of the steak, slice it all the way through and all the way across, keeping that knife as parallel as you can so you don't cut either through the top or the bottom side, and then maintain this side, because it's also the straightest, to be the spine of the book. And yes, cutting through the flank can be tricky to keep it level. And yes, I have cut through it before because that's how I roll. All right, with it all cut open, inevitably you've got a little bit of a spine mess sitting here in the end. So all I'm gonna do is cut it to make it even, remove that. And of course, save that for another use. Okay, with the steak cut open, it's time to salt and pepper both sides. Rub it all in. With both sides salt and peppered, it's now time to talk about the roll. First of all, muscle fibers. We're not worried about the direction of the fibers because once we roll it and then eventually slice it and serve it, they're already going to be cut across the grain. So lay it out what works best for you in terms of having the ability to roll it long enough. Secondly, no matter how hard we try, I guarantee you, one side of the flank will be not as thick as the other side. Start your stuffing on the thin side, that way you get more compaction as you go along your roll, making for a better stuffing and better presentation in the end. I'm gonna start from this end to this end because this end is thinner. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin with parsley. And when I do this as well, I like to leave a little bit of space down here at this end where it's gonna finish up. Fun our garlic. Small walnuts. It's time to roll once again from this side to this side. Now the kicker here is making sure you get it nice and tight. And keep in mind too, I realize things are gonna probably fall out the sides. That's okay. Just roll it up. And slide this out of the way just for a second. And I'm gonna lay out 5 pieces of butcher twine. With all those pieces down, I'm gonna put the roast back over the center of the twine. Once, twice, 3 times. Helps pulls it tight. Loop it off once more, and then repeat. Working your way from the inside to the outside. A little bit of olive oil, rub it all over, and your stuffed roast is ready for the grill. One more thing before we hit the grill. The trussing helps obviously keep the roll together, but also promotes evenness. This side's obviously a lot smaller. It's gonna cook faster. It's gonna be more well done. If you wanna be a purist, you could certainly cut it off here for an even roll, but I just know it's gonna happen, and frankly, I want the whole thing. The flank steak is going to be grilled indirect and direct, so we need a 2-zone fire. We could easily use any of our gas grills, the Summit charcoal grill, the smoke fire, but we're going to use instead the classic Weber kettle. Coals are lit, so it's time for my favorite part by far, the charcoal dump. I've always got some usually spent coals on the other side of the kettle, so I'll just simply mix those in, 2-zone fire, direct and indirect, push all my lit coals to one side, and then leave my open space for my indirect cooking on this side. Drop the grate in. And then we'll lower the lid. Shoot for about direct medium-high heat, 400 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's time to sear. We're gonna do that 1 minute aside over direct heat. And finally, one last turn. All right, the last step now is to move it from direct heat to indirect heat. And we're gonna finish letting it cook until it reaches about 130 degrees on an instant read thermometer. When you push that probe in, be careful. Remember, it's rolled, so when that probe goes in, you wanna make sure you actually hit the meat and not the stuffing. That'll make a difference in your final temperature. One more thing too, you could very easily reverse sear this, and by reverse sear I mean using a much lower grill temp, cook it indirect to bring that internal up within about 5 to 10 degrees of your final target, then sear it at the end. For whatever reason, I've always done flank steaks, sear, then bring it up through indirect. Either way will work. All right, here we go. Let's see what we've got. One thing I forgot to mention, don't forget to let it rest before you cut it up. But you know what? In the end, I think that'll do it. You can totally experiment with what goes inside. Mine kind of changes every time I do it. It really is a canvas for anything, so experiment and have fun with it. Thanks again for following along. I hope you got something out of it. I know I had a blast, relatively, minus the rain and the wind. Follow me on my social platforms, Instagram and Twitter, Another Pint Please. I'm Mike Lang. We'll be back at it soon. Get it in there and get it solid. What the is this? Follow me on my social platforms, Instagram,